Interesting article where Sergio Avidian from the Rideshare Guy is mentioned several times. The latest challenge for Uber drivers, GPS. So what is this all about? Uber has deactivated some driver accounts for manipulating their GPS location. Any type of deactivation, I'll give you the solution how to get reactivated later through activationhero.com. First, the article. Some of them say they never did that. You know, some people just don't know, hey, I didn't engage in any GPS changes or GPS spoofing. Deactivations, often sudden and with limited chance to appeal, are common in the gig economy. Limited chances to appeal, I disagree with that completely. There is a specific way to appeal, the right way, to the legal department, not through the app. I mean, if you were appealing this GPS issue through the app, you have 2 to 4% chance. Again, I'll be mentioning the other proper way later. Uber is cracking down on drivers who, it says, are manipulating their GPS locations, and the effort is causing headaches for some gig workers. In July, an Uber driver named Andre got a notification that Uber had deactivated his driver account because, according to the ride-hailing service, he had faked his phone's GPS location. He said he had no clue what that meant. I don't know what this is, he told Business Insider. I didn't GPS manipulate anything. I'm not smart enough to do that. I don't think you want to put yourself down like that. I'm not smart enough to do that. An Uber spokesman told Business Insider that removing a driver from its platform isn't a decision we take lightly. We do it when we need to ensure the safe and reliable functioning of our platform, the spokesman said. For years, gig workers have complained that companies like Uber and Instacart deactivate the accounts they use to earn money, often with little or no explanation. That is very true. I can tell you that's a fact, because we've done thousands and thousands of reactivation appeals at activationhero.com, and they give you very little or no explanation. Now, some like Andre are getting swept up in Uber's latest efforts to use geolocation to curb fraud on the app. Some gig workers spoof their GPS locations to get better rides or delivery offers from apps like Uber and Instacart. For example, it's one form of fraud that gig work apps are trying to prevent. In other cases, gig workers appear to be using accounts registered under someone else's name. That's pretty rampant. If you're using an account registered under someone else's name, you shouldn't be on the platform. Which basically means you don't have the credentials, or you failed some background check, and those drivers should not be behind the wheel, period. Right? These people renting third-party accounts, I am completely anti. Right? If somebody comes to activationhero.com and says, yeah, I was renting a third-party account and then they deactivated me, bye-bye, good luck, my friend. You're not being represented. But drivers say GPS technology isn't always accurate. That is pretty true. Drivers say GPS technology isn't always accurate. Remember, this is their technology. They built this themselves. So it is definitely not, we've made countless videos on that it's definitely not always accurate. Andre said he met other Uber drivers in the same situation as him online and at Los Angeles Green Light Hub. I don't know if Los Angeles Green Light Hub even exists, a support center for Uber drivers. I used to go to the one in Redondo Beach quite often. On forums for drivers such as Uber-focused subreddits, posters shared screenshots of similar emails that cited GPS manipulation as the reason that Uber had deactivated their accounts. Andre told Business Insider that he's now driving for Lyft in hopes of making up some of the income he lost by being locked out of his Uber account. He also said he plans to pursue arbitration with Uber. Good luck with that one, buddy. Good luck with the arbitration. Firstly, These guys own the arbitrators from the American Association of Arbitrators, AAA, right? Not to be confused with AAA service, help service, but AAA, American Association of Arbitrators. Uber, Lyft, and them, they pay those fees. So 90% of the time, those rulings go in the gig company's favor. And guess what? If you are going through an arbitrator, buckle up, because you could be in for 1, 2, 3, 4 years, right? And how much money have you lost in 4 years? You're better off filing an appeal. Appeal is a 3-week window given. Activate the account or face a claim, and then we will help you march that claim into small claims court. That's far quicker results in 4 to 6 weeks versus 3 to 4 years. It's a fact. I'm just telling you straight up, that is how it goes. He also said he plans to pursue arbitration with Uber. Good luck. The dispute resolution option that Uber mandates for drivers as he tries to get back on the app. Andre said he can see why the Uber app might have flagged his account on some trips around Los Angeles. Andre said he noticed he wasn't where his phone's GPS said he was. How does he know that? Does he have proof? Does he have screenshots, right? So story's got to be solid here. It's got to be solid. Shortly after being deactivated, for example, he said his phone lost connectivity while he was in a tunnel. That can very well be. Like if you are driving past LAX on Sepulveda, there's a long tunnel. It could be cut off, and the next thing you're on the other side of LAX, and the GPS can say, whoa, what happened here? I don't know of too many tunnels. I know of many tunnels in Switzerland where I'm sure the GPS changes big time, because you're driving through mountains after mountains after mountains, long miles and miles long tunnels. In LA, a couple of little tunnels around Malibu, one at LAX, one at the 405 and the 5. I don't know to what degree that would change the app. His iPhone showed him at the crypto arena through a map app. The phone eventually updated with his accurate location when he reached the city's Little Tokyo district, he said, creating a sudden 2-mile jump based on his GPS location. This is what the driver said. Doesn't mean doesn't mean it's necessarily true. Now, if he can show this proof, he has video recorded, video recording the screen, or he has someone from Business Insider with him, absolutely. Story is solid. I am not 100% sold on Andre's story. Sorry. I'm convinced that Uber's automated system detected that Andre's location was here. Then I suddenly popped up here, he said. That could have led Uber to believe that he was faking his location. Uber has yet to reactivate Andre's account despite his attempt to appeal the decision, he told Business Insider. He said that's left him without money to pay for rent and other living costs. Another Uber driver in California said he also received an email notifying him that Uber deactivated his account in July due to alleged tampering with his GPS location. The driver, who mostly delivered orders for Uber Eats, said that he had previously noticed that the GPS location that he saw on the Uber app was incorrect. Question, is it possible that another driver hacked into the account and then suddenly uses the account and is in a completely different place? I don't know. Is it possible? Maybe someone has some expert knowledge on that. In many situations that I was, for example, in the restaurant for a pickup, the Uber app showed that I was half a mile away from the location. Uber acts on reports of fraud or behavior that goes against our community guidelines, the company spokesman said. Uber reviews multiple signals, such as GPS signals and cell phone tower data, to determine whether fraud is likely. Now, I'm pretty sure they have a pretty solid system. Now, any system can still have glitches, right? Especially because they've created their own navigation. Lyft has created their own navigation. Could be a ton of glitches in there, a ton. So at the end of the day, if you want to argue this, you actually need hardcore proof. Someone driving with you that is filming this, and then you can actually show on the screen what's going on. Hey, it says I'm here, but I'm actually here. You need hardcore proof here. So here, in comes Sergio Vidian, a part-time gig driver, also a good friend of mine, based in the Los Angeles area and senior contributor to the gig driver advocacy blog and YouTube channel, the Rideshare Guy, said that the deactivations are evidence that Uber is trying to curb driver usage of GPS spoofing apps. Several years ago, those apps became popular among drivers that Avidian knew, he said. More recently, those apps have become less common. He said as Uber has cracked down harder on their use. The experience of having his Uber account deactivated, potentially based on location data, feels dystopian, Andre said. This is what happens when your boss is a robot and AI and not an actual human being, he said. And feel free to comment on this. I will now share with you a solution. Activationhero.com. We've done close on to 9,000 appeals. We filed thousands and thousands of claims in small claims court, going after the lost earnings. If you are not putting maximum pressure on these companies, forget about an in-app appeal. Forget about the in-app appeal. You are going nowhere. You have a review team, you have a customer service that is not boots on the ground, that doesn't understand, and they will do anything because they're legally protecting themselves to keep you deactivated. However, if you are going directly to the legal department, like we do, directly to the legal department. Now, a paralegal, 99% of the time, a paralegal at Uber or Lyft or DoorDash or Uber Eats will read your statement, right? Your statement, your declaration. Hey, here's my story. I am driver A. Here is my story. Listen to me. Reactivate me within 21 days, or Activation Hero will help me file a claim against you. Maximum pressure, my friends, right? Your story has to be heard. You can't just come with little or no explanation from Uber and Lyft. Oh, you know what? You were deactivated. You committed fraud. Okay, I was deactivated by Uber. You committed fraud. Really? You committed fraud multiple times. Really? Show me. So I got attorneys involved. That's how I learned the entire process. This is how I learned the entire process years ago. And I got back on the account because Uber came to me and said, oh, you were in the same area multiple times around Westlake and Calabasas and got the same clients. Well, hang on, buddy. If your app, Mr. Travis Kalanick, or I think this was still under Travis Kalanick, matches me up with the same client, it doesn't mean that I have created this unique relationship with that same client over and over again. Uber and Lyft had specifically Uber had a problem that I had sort of created a relationship with that rider in that same area, and I drove them multiple times. Here's what doesn't make sense, Your Honor. I was using the app, meaning they are making their cut, I am making my cut. Just because I'm and I won that case. I got reactivated. So this is how I learned the process. What works, what doesn't work. Arbitration, yes, it is a medium to get to the end line, but it takes a long time and you're not guaranteed of a win. You will not win if you wire someone money through WhatsApp, through some scam who says, oh, I will get a bot or a hacker to get your account back. Won't happen. You'll have lost $150, $250. Mark my words. What does not work is the in-app appeal. The in-app appeal, they say, oh, you have the right to do an appeal through our app. Here it is. You have a 3 to 5% chance because those people are not professionals. They're not legal people. They're not paralegals. This has to be handled, and this is why I set up GigRocket and Activation Hero, and we have multiple paralegals doing appeals all day long, filing claims against Uber, Lyft, and DoorDash, and Uber Eats, and Grubhub, and Amazon Flex, and Instacart, all day long, right? Thousands and thousands and thousands per year, all day long, my friends. So this is what works. And again, with the GPS, I mean, Avidian came out and just said straight up, those are GPS spoofing tools. They used to be rampant in the past. They've clamped down on them. Andre, I am sorry, dude. Unless you bring me hardcore evidence, I'm actually not buying your story. And I do believe Business Insider did not do a fantastic job on this one. It got sort of like a few people's opinions. They got an expert opinion from Sergio, who knows what GPS spoofing things do, so that information is solid. But then the other one or two writers, oh, you know what, I was there, but it said I was there. Could have been a tunnel. What tunnel? But you got to bring evidence. When this happened, I was driving from LAX and then entered the long tunnel. Suddenly the GPS threw me out on the other side, and the next thing I knew, I was deactivated. Solid screenshots, solid evidence. You will never, ever win a case in court without solid evidence. Just because you make something up. That lady yesterday, where the driver kicked her out because she vomited in her car, she's going to have to bring solid evidence to the court. She's suing Uber. She's suing the gig company. I think she's suing the driver. She's going to have to bring solid evidence to the table if she wants to win that case. Otherwise, she ain't going to win that case. Leave your comment. Sorry, it's a long video. Like and subscribe. I've given you the solution here. And again, I'm going to leave the link to this article. Good article, by the way. And it's happened to a lot of people. If you are using GPS spoofing tools, if you are, my friends, stop. You will get deactivated. It's not that easy to get back on. If you have evidence of GPS locations changing, that can happen. These apps are not bulletproof, right? They have a lot of glitches. They have a lot of faults in their navigation system. Bring the proof, make your case, and we'll help you win that appeal. Your comments.